What's up, jobbers, and welcome to the latest edition of the Jobber Knocker podcast. As always, is Nestlemania alongside for the ride is a man who always loves to indulge in burger after burger, JC.
I do love burgers. In fact, I'm considering drafting burgers after this program, but Nestlemania with the first pick in the 2024 Jobber Knocker draft, Monday night JC selects. You're going to have to wait till the hope section to find out.
Oh. Wait, what? How come you're Monday night JC? I didn't even get a pick in this. You don't want to be SmackDown?
Do whatever I want. I'm Monday night JC every year. You're fucking boring night Nestle. And I get the number one pick for obvious reasons because I
could go off the board and be NST instead of NXT.
You're not. You're a Friday night loser.
Wow.
Friday night Star Trek nerd face.
It's Geordie LaForge, isn't it? Whatever. I'm sure the Too Long Didn't Read podcast will pop in there.
I don't know what that means.
Anyway, we have a lot to talk about. The draft is approaching on Friday and Monday this week coming up, as well as the fact that, there's other things we got to talk about, AEW Dynasty, as well as a full gambit of stuff that went on in Raw and SmackDown and other things too. Adam Birdsky with the, I thought Nestle was going to be in all black for a funeral / release of Von Wagner. We'll get to the releases at some point. Thank you for putting that in there, Birdsky. Also credit for you for showing up this week after that news. Listen, it hurt my feelings. I'll be completely honest with you. It hurt my soul. Actually, all of the releases in some form or fashion hurt me personally. I think all of us there's always somebody we're just like, no, not them. So
the Vaughn one honestly was the most surprising because he was the one of the only releases that actually has an ongoing storyline that's been going for a while. The stuff with Mr. Stone and the kids and all that, and with Lexis Kane. So, because the rest, I mean, honestly, I love Jinder. Xia Li had a really cool entrance for 1 week. I'm a big fan of Cameron Grimes, but we see this every year. Like, it just the bottom of the roster gets cleaned out before the draft because they're calling up NXT talent, and the next crop of NXT's coming in. It's a cycle, man. And unfortunately, if you're not being used, then you're going to be let go. But I think all of them have a chance to do great things elsewhere as well.
I'll say this much: it hurt my feelings that Von Wagner was gone. I thought there was a lot of upside with the wagon, and I just like Come Tuesdays. I just thought it was hilarious.
Well, that was the problem. They tried to draft him away from Come Tuesday. He ended up staying.
It was, you know what it is? It's just, it didn't click for him. And that sucks. It does. But I mean, let's be realistic. Let's just talk all about it now. Jinder is the biggest head scratcher being a former WWE champion, especially where Jinder with the background of where he comes from. And honestly, one of the biggest things we've had on Instagram is because of the Jinder being on, that whole thing with The Rock and then Tony Khan hooked. That specific Instagram blew up because of Jinder. So I think that there's something to be said about that too. He can go feud with Cocaine Kane, is what our boy Joe said.
Well, him and Hook, that's the dream match. But the problem is,
Hook's going over to
exiting WWE when Hook might be coming.
It's like ships passing in the night, folks.
I know it would be a really missed opportunity.
You know what's going to upset me? No, not upset me necessarily, but I will say this much: most of these people will rake. Like Jinder will rake wherever he goes because of who he is and what he can do. In this year, obviously there's a ceiling, but on a TNA, or
they're perfect TNA guys. TNA would love them.
It's just there's so many things that can happen for these people. Like Xia Li could definitely do well anywhere she goes. If she decides to stick with it, I think she's fine. There's a lot of positivity with all these people. The one thing that really broke my heart was watching the Cameron Grimes video earlier today. We all loved him from definitely NXT and that $1 Million Championship LA Knight thing. He did his best work there. He was peaking when that was his peak doing that. And then he kind of just never got his footing on the main roster, and it's not his fault. So I feel like these roster cuts happen. And like we talked about this in the thread, JC, but I'm curious your thoughts about this. Usually we get like I'm only saying this because I can't think of a better word, but a firing Friday or whatever. It just felt like we got a list of like 45 people in one night. And now it's like the sporadic, like, oh, somebody leaves, and then another person, like it's either the same day, the next day, or 2 days from then. And it just seems like it's lagging a little bit and struggling longer than it needs to, because I feel like it's not continuing the news cycle. It's just starting a new one. And it feels like
I think it's just one of those things. Like, we know the draft's coming up Friday and Monday, so backstage internally, this is also a new budget season after WrestleMania. So they're probably sent like certain numbers that they have to trim in certain areas, and there's probably a talent list. And so as they're compiling the rosters backstage and figuring out who's going to go where for the draft upcoming, they're probably looking like as they go, like, well, these names, we're definitely not going to have a place for them. So we can kind of start to process here. And it's also like, I mean, I think a lot of the times you saw that in the past was a lot of these people like found out sometimes through the internet they're being fired, where from everything we've heard about, this one has been a lot more like respectful and personal, where like these individuals are actually being called and told and whatever. So that, especially with a company, doesn't just happen immediately, because you might not be able to get in contact with someone, or if they're doing them in person, they might wait till they work. You know what I mean? So there's all sorts of different factors, and who knows? I doubt it's done. There could be more that come in the next week or so leading into the draft, and it's unfortunate, but it just this is what it is. It's part of the business. When you're bringing up the next talent, that means some of the bottom gets trimmed out and then more get pulled in the back end. It's a never-ending cycle, unfortunately. But hey, you know what? For a lot of these people, we've seen it. People that get fired from WWE, they have great success elsewhere. I mean, look, if Von Wagner could team with Cool Kyle, who just lost a dynasty to your buddy Roddy, and they could reform their tag team in AEW. So you got that going for you.
Yeah, I can't wait for that one. That's going to put butts in the seats. Jesus Christ. Cool Kyle and
they
Von
both
Wagner,
need haircuts. They have that in common.
That's true. I will say this much. I am nervous about their cutting NXT talent next. I think that once they get the main roster done, then it becomes the who's been here too long cycle in NXT.
Well, they kind of did that. I feel like a couple months ago. They're
going to do it again, though.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm not so sure, because that's the cheaper talent, and I think it's more of right now with NXT. It's like you're bringing up some of the talent because you're going to backfill with some of the new signees and stuff. So
Von Wagner couldn't sell out a phone box. You know what's hilarious is that we don't have those over here, Danny. Not anymore. So
we have phone booths.
No, we don't. We don't have phone booths here. No, we don't.
They still exist.
No, we don't.
You ever walked in a city, Adam?
Listen, no way is there a phone. There's no way there's a payphone anywhere anymore. There's cell phones.
Oh my God, you are.
There's no way. Find me the nearest. Naive. Find me the nearest payphone to you right now,
bro. Dude, I live closer to Boston than you, but there are still payphones in Boston. When's the last time you went in the city and walked around? Clearly.
Listen. I'll tell you.
I mean, Bert. I'm not going to say where you live on camera, but Bert was driven through your town one time and thought he was in the ghetto, and I laughed at him. So
he thought
I know you're from the mean streets of where, but
me, he thought where I live was the ghetto.
Bert lives up in Timbuktu in the middle of nowhere. So
well, guess what? He lives in the sticks. I'd rather be in the city with people than Deliverance in the woods. That's all I got to say about that.
So they don't have payphones like around you, but maybe in around, especially not around Bert, because he's not up in Maine, but he's
in a bunker. Close. Like, what is he doing?
I don't know. But
in a separate thing.
You don't think there's payphones anymore? You're insane.
No, there's no phone booths. There's absolutely no phone booths. That's it. I can't believe we're having a conversation in a podcast about wrestling with this. Thank you for calling me young. I am a lot.
You're a very naive old man.
Look at this. I got to put this up because this is like a fucking lunar eclipse here. Hold on.
Oh, you're putting up the other old guy in the chat?
Nestle's correct. Thank you, Doc.
The last time Doc's probably walked in a city? Doc, when you go to Chicago, you're going to see fucking phone booths. Because guess what? I was just there a few months ago and there are phone booths. So nice try, buddy.
Also want to put up this. God, I hated that I typed that. Yeah, you should
get out more, man.
Listen, when you have children, you don't get out. You go to things you don't, necessarily want to go to. You just do it for your kids because you love them. It just was what it is.
I'm just saying.
Do you think if I walked outside with these shoulder pads that people would take me seriously? I don't think so. Let's move on to the regular part of the show.
You're talking about shoulder pads and not your fucking little Cyclops helmet there you got going on.
I would totally rock this while working out. I have no problem with this at all.
Oh my God.
Oh, by the way, since you brought it up, Danny, phone booth shamer, can we talk about how Drew McIntyre is a fat shamer now? because he called him fat on camera. Just saying,
Always in the shine, much like burger after burger after burger. I think that was one of the greatest lines in wrestling history delivered by Drew McIntyre this week.
It's the name of
I'm not even kidding. That was fucking phenomenal.
I just listen. There's something to say about Drew McIntyre. Just the whole thing was outstanding, and I just it was so great to see them at least. And then Sheamus, you knew they were going to say that, and then Sheamus comes back with, "Hey, I can fix my weight. You can't fix stupid." And I was just like, "There you go." It's just boom, back and forth. It was just so good. And if someone said that they want, here you go, Joe. Yeah. Sheamus wins, he can be called the Burger King. That's good.
It's good.
I thought this was a great segment because it was two friends kind of calling each other out on the carpet and still being what seemed like friendly. And then, of course, when sometimes you get underneath your friend's skin, there are barbs like that. And you can talk to your friends a little bit differently, like we do on this podcast than we do somewhere else. Because I don't think you guys, if we're not friends, you wouldn't say the things that you say about, maybe you would. I don't know. Would you say that about me if we weren't friends? I don't know.
I mean, who says we're friends now and I'm saying these things about you? So.
Well, at least Danny, there's a whole continent and a whole ocean between us, but I think Danny likes me.
I know, he's lucky. Man, I got to do that. Danny, I'm moving to England.
Anywho, it was a great segment. I'm curious to see where we go with this. I would assume we're getting a burger banger. I don't know. Can we make a t-shirt called Burger Bangers? It'd be great.
Burger Bangers? I mean, so... We were talking about this before the show. I'm already starving. And I looked the whole episode at the goddamn titles, Burger After Burger. I ate dinner early today. As I was finishing up my shift. So this always happens. Like, when I get off here, I'm going to be ravenous. And we're talking about goddamn burgers.
Why don't you Uber Eats a Mr. Beast or what is it? Beast Burger? Sorry, is it Mr. Beast Burger or Beast Burger? I think it's Beast Burger. That shit's good.
I think a lot of those closed down.
Dude, there's one right in my ghetto over here.
I know there was one of those because it was in the Bertucci's by me in Medford during the pandemic.
Look at right now. Look at this right now. See? Burger Banger t-shirt. Take my money. Absolutely. I can see it right now. You put the buns in there and then you put the font as if it's the meat. I already got it made.
Stop making me hungry.
It's great. TJ, I'll make it. This episode's
going to be, we got a goddamn draft in the middle of it.
I know. Sorry. Let's get right into it. Let's just fucking piss through the rest of this nonsense. By the way, Danny's got some spare bedrooms. JC, you're in. Let's move on to other things because JC, there's a lot that you want to talk about. Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, so we had the return of Gunther this week. Who is an absolute stud, and he is also taking his aim at King of the Ring. And I kind of love this, the theme of people getting ready for the King of the Ring, and because we're curious what's next for Gunther, because we think it's very important what he does next. We obviously know he's not going for a world title right away, but King of the Ring is a good way for some of these top stars to get involved, and it sounds like the winner's getting the title shot, so there's a good chance Gunther wins that and gets a world title shot at some point. But obviously we had New Day interrupting because the last King of the Ring, and I believe it was 2021, was Xavier Woods. And they obviously have a long history with Ludwig and Vinci. So, you know what? Might not do a Monday night rerun, but this one, Nestlemania, it finally happened. Ludwig, my boy, the absolute stud, the JC superstar of the week. I haven't done that in a while. We're doing it this week. Ludwig
Power
Kaiser.
rankings.
Yep. Beat the living shit out of Vinci, who I also love. Hopefully he'll bring back the camera gimmick now. I love that. But you're out. Gunther approved. And this was kind of the Ludwig violence we saw in the feud with New Day that I was kind of digging. And then WrestleMania season came and we kind of hit pause and all that. But we're right back in it. It appears they're just going to be a duo now. And I'm excited for this because Ludwig's a stud. I don't know if you saw his backstage thing with Adam Pearce, who was trying to find him. Ludwig is just, I wish I could show the amount of disgust that he shows at all times, because I would just do that on this podcast the entire time, every time we talked.
Well, it's not heavy lifting because I discussed you in every moment of life. It's okay. I don't care. But yet you still persevere every hour, every week. I appreciate it. I really do. Couple quick questions for you. Do you think Vinci's dead in the water?
It's not great, but I mean, he's so freaking good in the ring that if they could find him another tag team partner, he'd probably be part of a great tag team.
Okay. Next question. Do you think Ilya Dragunov is going to be drafted and put into Imperium to make this an even more vicious, tricycle at this point?
I feel like Ilya will probably be on his own.
Okay. And finally, do you think it's too soon for Gunther to win the King of the Ring and then be a dominant champion with the IC title and then become a dominant champion with the World Heavyweight title?
It depends who he's targeting, because there's a good chance he targets Cody, and I don't know if he's beating Cody this soon. So it'd be interesting to see, or if it's one of those things where he can it's maybe the winner gets a shot at SummerSlam. I think last year they did a Money in the Bank. I don't remember how they did it last time. It was a couple years ago, but yeah, no, I'm curious how they do it because I feel like he's obviously not beating Cody, I don't think, and I don't think him and Priest is a really good feud. So it makes me think there could be some chicanery in the Skin of the Ring.
I mean, I would think that your boy, Gunther would win. I would think Jade would win the Queen of the Ring, personally.
Well, we'll
I mean,
see. She might not even be in it. We don't know anything.
Well, if we looked at the superstars that were in the promo, Joshua, I would just like to say that
who the fuck is Joshua?
I would just like to say he's a man in the Bible, by the way. He has his own. It's a whole thing. Anyway,
you reading the Bible lately, buddy?
Well, where I was stuck today, I might as well have read the Bible. It's fine. By the way, I was at jury duty. That's why I said that joke. Yeah. So there you go. But anyway,
they took one look at you and you were like,
nope, this guy should not be here. Get out of here. Anyway, let's move on to something else that you really enjoyed.
There was kind of a tag team match that had 4 JC studs in it, and it was like watching porn. Andrade and Ricochet beating JD and Santos. I mean, this is just, you want to talk about wrestling? This match made me hot. And then Dominant Priest flexed his muscles afterwards and was like, yeah, I'm going to beat everyone up. Little storytelling, though, going on with Judgment Day. We were worried last week about Rhea. So I think it's good, the kind of the direction as Priest not really trusting these guys, and JD got involved earlier in the night as well. And Dom seems to be kind of doing his own thing. And Finn obviously had the week off. So I think there's a lot of interesting little pieces here.
So I want to build off of that for a second. What I noticed, this is just a Nestle thing, but it's definitely, maybe other people are picking up on it and feel the same way, because our boy, the Backcracker did say this, where he's already tired of Priest as champion. I wouldn't necessarily say I'm tired of Priest as champion, but I will say this much. I noticed this in the first opening segment with Jey Uso, when they went back and forth. We can talk about that depending on where you want to talk about, but
not in this segment.
Not in the segment. So for me, it was like, that was the glaring issue. But then you see him do his promos backstage, and he does them so well. And then when he came back out and destroyed everybody, he didn't have a microphone in his hand, and he was yelling at the Judgment Day guys, he looked more menacing and comfortable in that too. So I think that the last piece of the puzzle for Priest is really being able to cut a really good promo towards the audience. I think that's the biggest missing piece, because he doesn't seem like he's a main event star. Even if you give him the title, it doesn't really help. And I think that that's the missing piece of the puzzle, because anybody that's been on the camera and Welcome to Monday Night Raw, they've always, whether you like them or not, they've always had the ability to kind of play with the crowd in some form or fashion. And I think that's his biggest gaping hole going forward.
Yeah, I don't disagree. There's definitely an element missing in terms of him for some reason. Like you said, like backstage, he does have that gravitas. He seems a lot more comfortable, but when he gets out there, it's like his pacing is all out of whack, and he stutters a little. I don't know. I don't know if it's a confidence thing or what, but it's like, dude, just pretend like you're backstage again, because backstage he nails everything, like you said.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like a weird conundrum to be in, but it is what it is. Something that I would like to bring up that I thought was super positive. Would you like me to do the positive? Literally the longest shot in wrestling history. I was enamored and fascinated with this because of two things, right? One thing, we can make the joke about Kevin Dunn and his fucking pushies and all that stuff, but that's one thing. But the other thing was from a piece of cinema. Like if you watch fucking Citizen Kane and it's one fucking shot for like 20 minutes or whatever, that's fucking hard to do. But the WWE is going out of their way each and every week to do these shots, and it just keeps getting longer and longer. And the longer it goes and the more people involved, the more impressed I am. What?
You expect me not to laugh at a longer and longer joke? Come on.
Well, it is what it is. But it was just like the setup for the whole thing was just, it was great. It was just like from the Candice promo to being stopped with a brawl, and then Becky takes the mic and Becky starts walking, and even that part didn't bother me. Becky starts doing her thing, then she stops and talks to Maxine, which I thought didn't need to happen, but was so helpful for Maxine for what she did later on in the night. And that was great. And then she did her thing, and then the music hit, and there she was. And I just thought, like, that was like 3 minutes or so, but it was so good. And the other thing was, it didn't even bother me, but Jackie kind of flubbed for like a half a second, and I'm like, it makes it feel like it's live. I love it. I love it.
Well, it is.
No, but I mean, but something like that. But something like that could have been pre-taped, but it wasn't. And I love that aspect of it.
It's definitely they're definitely starting to feel themselves a little bit with these shots and getting creative with them. And I think they're loads of fun. And I want them to continue to do it and continue to do it with different superstars every week, because it makes like my favorite part of wrestling, the spectacle, the entrances, even better.
Yeah, and listen, I have to, once they get through the aisleway, I just fast forward, but the rest of it was fantastic.
You suck.
Anything else you'd like to be positive, Mr. Positivity?
Oh yeah, I mean the bloodline stuff's still interesting to me. It's something that's finally on SmackDown. It's something we can can bite our teeth into a little bit here. And I mean, you get him out there in the rain. It started, I believe, in the parking lot, and Solo's in a suit and everything, and tells Tama Tonga to go find KO or whatever. And Heyman's all being all fucking weird. He's honestly, I mean, he usually overacts, but his overacting is like super glaring. I thought on Friday, like over the top, even a little much for me, but. The "We Want Roman" chants are fucking hilarious. And you see Solo mouth like, "Oh, now you do." It's just like, because it's so true. Like, wrestling fans are fucking hilarious. But it's just like, that's kind of the vibe they're going for, is they're trying to get all the heat onto Solo and Tama, like as this new faction. And they continue to do it as by targeting a superstar like KO, who this poor guy. Cody finally finishes his story. He celebrates. Kevin Owens gets to celebrate and carry him around the ring. Yes, we defeated the Bloodline. 2 weeks fucking later, the Bloodline's dragging him back. This guy's been feuding with the Bloodline for 5 years, getting his ass beat by him. Roman's gone. Cody finished the story, and this poor motherfucker's still getting beat up by the Bloodline. It's fucking hilarious, honestly.
I will say I was happy with what a lot of it was, because I felt like I tweeted it out, but it's bearing repeating here, is that these next 3 months for Solo are going to be incredibly crucial going forward. I think we make the joke about him losing 35-0 or whatever, or 0-35 or whatever, but he lost a lot, and he's talking about how wins and losses matter. And now he's the tribal chief, or his version of the tribal chief. And then, Tama Tonga looks like, that was the other thing too, is like Tama Tonga, depending on what you think about him and how you feel about him, I get boned up about it, but I'm me. But like, the one thing when he came out with Kevin Owens and it was bloodied, I was like, immediately it lent credibility to anything he was doing. And then they cut back to the car accident in the parking lot. And I thought to myself, what a great visual for making this feel bigger. And I think we've talked about this a lot, right? Is that what was missing in WWE, or just wrestling in general, is making the arena and the environment feel big. Like, play with the outside, play with the parking lot, play with all these different places to make it feel like we're not just in the arena. And those are things that are really important. I think that's the best work that you can have. And Solo doing his thing makes it so much better going forward, because Paul Heyman's kind of like just trembling and not knowing what to do. So it's going to be really interesting going forward, because the biggest question in my mind is going to be, when Roman Reigns returns, is there going to be a double cross? Is Heyman going to stick with Solo? Because we don't need Heyman and Roman to be together necessarily, especially if the Usos and Heyman are baby faces. So the Usos and Roman, are baby faces.
Yeah, no, it's definitely intriguing. And it's something that I have to look forward to every week, because, the Bloodline, like last year, is very repetitive. So this is kind of a fresh new feel on it. So I'm interested.
Anything else, or would you like to get heaty, boy? Get him off my TV, get him off my TV, get him off my TV. So it's Bloodline adjacent. We didn't talk about it. Jey Uso and Priest were kind of splitsville there. Not so great. Your thoughts?
This promo just didn't work. It was a poor idea, and it was executed even worse. It's like, we've seen like that. We've already seen like Uso like have like the respect of like the Bloodline, or not the Bloodline, of the Judgment Day a little bit, when they're trying to recruit him, and they turned and they became enemies and whatever. And like, I'm fine with you running this feud back, but it's just like, you just kind of went back to try to do the respect thing, and Priest was just like had struggling big time. Jay is kind of like, his promos I enjoy, but they're just kind of like nonsensical, just him yelling yeet and saying random shit. So this segment was a fucking mess, if we're being honest, and it made me so much less excited for the match. So yeah, they got some work to do here, but yeah, this thing it wasn't a good idea. It wasn't well written, and it wasn't well executed. So not great, Bob.
Not great, Bob, indeed. The other thing that really came across for me was the cherry on the crap sundae here was JD comes out, whoop, 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 and then fucks up everything. And somehow there's still like, the whole thing just was like, oh boy, some blocking would have been real helpful in this one, but it didn't happen, and that's okay. It is what it is. Something else that was, I'm not necessarily hating on it, but it's just like, I don't necessarily understand what we're doing here. Is just like the randomness of kind of just the whole women's division. Like, I love the battle royal concept of it. And I don't even care that Becky won, but a lot of people got out their pitchforks on this one and started
Becky Hogan, they were calling
holy
her.
shit. Like,
And Nestlemania, I saw someone even say that Becky's the new shoveler.
Really?
Yeah, because everyone's saying it's like she's taking the Charlotte role and she's worse than Charlotte. And I'm just like, oh. I mean, I was having a field day when I finally watched Raw. I purposely stayed off the internet because I didn't want this match to be spoiled because I was looking forward to finding out who the new champion was going to be. I obviously figured it would be one of the final three there. And again, like, it's one of those things, like, I don't love Becky winning it because I hate so much when you have the person who just lost for the championship just get it because the other person you know what I mean? So, and I also, though, I do agree with the arguments about Liv. It's something that we didn't really bring up last week because I guess I didn't really think. But if her revenge tour really isn't done and it's going to be this thing, then it makes sense that she loses again. But for me, that I'm looking at, I'm like, oh, I would have liked it to see the title go on Nia or like some sort of surprise. Like, this is kind of your opportunity, especially with the draft coming up, for like a nice fresh start or to take a chance on someone that you really like. Like, if you do think at some point Shayna Baszler can still be a world champion on the main roster, this would have been a nice surprise way to do it or something. Or even Guthrie's girl there, her tag team partner, Miss
Personality. Yeah.
Yeah. Miss Personality. It's just one of those things. I mean, she even got a hype package, but it's one of those. So that's kind of was my disappointment with it, is just give me a surprise or Nia. But I mean, look, I understand them picking Becky because it's like you have a hole like this and something happens, you put it on the established star and you move on. But I'm not as outraged as the internet, but I would have liked something different here, but it is what it is.
Our boy, the backcracker said that he was hoping Nia would win or thought Nia was going to win. And then our boy, Danny Grimwood says, what does it say about the rest of the women's division that they thought they'd have to have Becky not take a break, not just yet, and put the belt on her to save the day? So look,
I don't think it says much about them. I just think it says Becky's clearly one of their biggest stars. So this was a safe decision.
And I think the other thing too, is they may not have had to make that safe decision if the world heavyweight champion was not a proven commodity on the men's side. If it was somebody that you knew,
fair point.
Nobody, like, you know what I mean? If it was still a Seth Rollins or anybody else, then you're fine. But because he's kind of an unproven commodity, Becky is the more proven commodity on that show that's going to be anchoring until they can figure it out. So unless Gunther wins and Liv wins, and then we're back to the opposite. But I don't know. He said, any chance she gets drafted to SmackDown?
With the way they name these titles, them being World and WWE, I feel like they kind of have to stick on the show they're on, or God forbid, they're still going to do the fucking stupid title handoffs. But I feel like the champions, if they're going to switch, they all switch, which makes me think they probably won't. And I think Becky's just such a better fit on Raw. I think I think of her as a Raw superstar and like character, and she's someone who can fill kind of some of those segments that you need, the extra segments on Raw. So I think she really makes sense there. And obviously that, like, Seth really likes being on Raw and they're going to be on the same show. So yeah, I don't think they're gonna flip champions. If God, imagine if they flip like the tag champs and they have them to change the titles they just got the week before. I will lose my fucking mind. So I'm just gonna say I think all the champions are gonna stay put. Maybe the IC and US flop, but that'd be about it.
Okay. And then our boy, the backcracker, says, I've always been a Lynch guy, but she doesn't need the belt at this point. I'm sure she's held as many titles, which is nice as a little accomplishment, but we should have it on Liv. So look, I agree with you, but I think, like I said, we just need a draw on Raw. And right now,
I think Nia could have done it with how good Nia's been in the
fact she's
a dominant heel.
But Becky
and Liv could have chased her and plus you have the draft coming up, so you can bring over more baby faces. For me, I want to see the vision. I'm willing to let it play out because, like I said, I do think they have a very specific plan with Liv with this revenge tour. She is one of their bigger woman stars, so I think that for that, they probably had a plan there. Like, if we just give her the title, it kind of ends that. So I understood that argument. I'm glad people talked me off the ledge there. Like, everything I read with that made sense and I'm on board. But I'm curious what they do with Becky. If it's just like a Becky Nia feud, it's like, we just kind of got through that. So I'm kind of hoping through the draft, we get some sort of change here, but who knows? I guess we'll find out.
All right. I think that's enough blabbering about that. But anything else that you got really upset about, or should I just keep on moving?
You can keep going.
You know what I thought was absolute hot garbage was Tiffany Stratton's new song. God damn it. She had the perfect fucking song for her.
You
And
know
then
she's had this on for like since she's been called
I don't
up.
watch entrances, but then
Well,
she did the
this is why.
she did the fucking thing, but it was so bad at the end.
She
of
fucking has
SmackDown.
a dance routine to it though.
I know, but the thing is, it's so bad. Like she had the perfect theme and she has the perfect presentation, and fucking with that boggles my fucking mind. Like they just screw, like they've gone out of their way to fuck
Changing
up.
the creeds was worse to me.
I don't know.
Their song was so perfect for them too. It got me pumped up, and now they have like this thing. And yeah, no, I mean their music changes haven't been good. I'm not going to disagree with you. I just at least Tiffy like found a way to choreograph it a little bit. That's how you can get me on board with worse entrances. Is if you make it your own by doing something, and she did. So you know what? I believe in Tiffy, and I believe she will overcome.
That's fine.
She also broke up the main event. Do you care about that?
I thought that was cool. Maybe we'll get a triple threat at François.
Easy way for Bailey to retain.
Je m'appelle Nestlemania. Yeah, I have a couple of things in French I can remember from my 4 years. It's fine.
Oh boy,
she's got a few. There you go. She got a few presentations that are super hot fire. You got to keep it in your goddamn pants.
Hey, you know what? Ludwig, she is absolutely a very lucky woman to be with Ludwig Kaiser because he is a beautiful super hot fire man.
I don't really have anything else that I thought was super disgusting or bad. I
didn't like the WWE tag belts. Did you?
I actually did. I thought they were better than the other.
I like the world ones way better, but maybe that's just because I like the world ones better.
Here's because you're like what, like at least 6 years younger than me, if not more.
They're like 40 years younger than you. Yep.
Yet you wear a beard, so you know it is what it is.
Because you can't grow one because you're an old man.
If somebody saw a picture of you and somebody saw a picture of me, they would think I'm younger. We've gone through this 150 times. I
don't think so.
It's true. I have a youthful look. You look like a grizzled man.
You can't say I have a youthful look when you're wearing a jacket with shoulder pads, a fucking Star Trek fucking beam on your head, and your stupid fucking face. Like, come on, 0 for 3.
Well, when you got so you're grasping at straws when you say, "And your stupid fucking face."
Well, like, I had to get the third insult in there. Everything's better in threes. You know?
It's true. I tend to agree, comedy threes, but it's just so anyway. I've lost complete control of
my beard. Also, do you see any gray on me? That would, if my beard was gray, you could be an argument, but it's not. I couldn't start growing facial hair until I was like almost in early to mid 20s. So it took me a while too. But so maybe by your like mid 50s, you'll be able to grow some.
Have you ever shown Doc your mustache picture?
He'd probably like it because he's
he would cackle at that picture. The fact that I'm not going to tell you what they used to call him.
I ruined my sister's college graduation photos by having the mustache.
It was like watching a furry caterpillar crawl across that milky white skin. She will never forgive me
for that.
Oh my God. It was
because I think I also grew it in like the summer too. So like everything was very, very red because of the sun.
Yes.
So yeah, it was it was a sight to behold.
Well, listen. I thought Nessa was JC's dad. JC's dad is way cooler than both of us. There's nothing.
I mean, that is true.
That he is
not cooler than me, but he's cooler than you.
He's definitely fuck you. He's cooler than both of us. Anyway, Dom's in the house. New belts, fellas. Look, Look,
yeah, I knew you and Dom like those, but I like the world ones better.
This is my original point before you went off on my fucking ugly face tangent.
Well, you brought it up.
No, you brought it up. I was just saying you look.
You brought it up by being there. What am I supposed to do? Not react.
This is getting out of hand, and we still have a draft to do. Anyway, Anywho, you are of the younger, generation in which you fell in love with those SmackDown tag titles and the Raw tag titles.
I hated those.
You just said you love the Raw tag titles.
I like the World Tag Team titles.
That's what they were. I'm sorry. Not the SmackDown and Raw. I'm sorry. The big black ones that the Dudleys had with the red trim. Yeah, all that shit.
World designs. I like the world
Whatever.
designs.
That what me and Dom go back to are the WWF tag titles, which are what these kind of go with as well. That's all I'm saying. They're exciting. I love that feel of it. I think it looks cool to me, and it made A-Town or what do they call him? A-Clown Down?
A-Town Down Under.
Or they call him A-Clown Down Under, whatever that was.
A-Clown Down. Haters call them that.
I just thought it was hysterical. But anyway, it is what it is. They're boring. You're boring. Of course, you're gonna.
Doc didn't like him either.
Doc isn't like it. Doc will suck up to you because he's gonna crash.
No, he said that. He said that unencumbered because
uninhibited.
I don't know if that was the right word, but I'm a little under the influence. So go fuck yourself.
You're drinking right now. Good.
No, this is water.
It is what it is, folks. It is.
I hung out with Tony Khan before this.
Yeah. Ooh. Where are we now? I forget. We just want to get hopeful and do drafts because I just feel like we should.
Yeah, let's just draft. I don't give a fuck about the rest of this.
All right, everybody in the chat, you guys, well, you can't play along necessarily, but we do want your thoughts on all this stuff. Apparently, it's Monday night JC and Friday night loser Nestle is apparently what he called it. So I don't know how many rounds we're gonna do.
All right. Well, so here's the breakdown. I'll break it down for you. So it's gonna be a draft Monday night JC versus Friday night I fell asleep Nestle. You can draft factions as factions. The only one I think we need to discuss is do I think we should take, since Rhea's hurt, take her out of the Judgment Day. So you have to draft her on her own, but you can draft the 4 dudes together, just because that's a pretty stacked pick.
May I make a caveat here that injured people should be off the board?
I'm fine with that. Who is that? Like, that's like Charlotte,
Rhea.
Oh, but then I can't draft Alexa Bliss or Carmella.
Fine. You want?
Oh, how about that? You know what?
We're not going to go 40 deep here. We're not. I'm going to stop at 15.
We might.
No, we're not.
So the other rules, as I was saying, it'll be a snake style. So I'll pick first, then Nestle will pick 2 in a row, and then I'll pick 2. So we'll go 2 in a row after that. And I wanted, because last year we kind of cut out of hand when we refused to draft Drew McIntyre and we drafted the entire NXT roster. We can each only draft 3 superstars from NXT. A superstar can be considered a tag team, though. So if you want to draft, say, the family, you can take. Oh my god,
this is too much.
That's it. Those are the only rules.
You're gonna have to keep me honest, because I'm not gonna pay attention.
Yeah, I'll just yell at you if you fucking try to do something stupid.
Well, that's just like every week, but there's no difference. Anyway, okay,
so
great.
With the first pick in the 2024 Jobber Knocker draft, hold on, let me get my card.
We know what you're doing. It doesn't even matter.
Monday Night JC is proud to select the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes.
Shocker. Fucking shocker.
Yeah, all right. That's the best wrestler in the world. Give me him.
Yeah. Easy. Okay. Yeah. All right. The first pick in Monday Night Nestle. I'm sorry. Friday Night Nestle. Sorry. I'm going to pick my number 1 pick to be. Can't believe I'm doing this. For some reason, you know, fuck it. I'll go first. I'll pick Bailey. I like Bailey. Bailey for me. And my second pick.
Bailey first?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bailey first. Yes. And second, I will pick Damian Priest because I want the World Heavyweight Championship.
So why don't you just take the Judgment Day then?
I don't want the Judgment Day.
You only want Damian Priest. You don't want Finn, JD, and Dom for free with it.
No.
You're a fucking idiot.
Nope.
Oh my god. You might be the worst drafter I've ever seen. Like, I expect you to go Bloodline and Judgment Day and just fucking stack your roster right off of that.
Nope.
Wow, you're an idiot. Jesus. I guess just by default, Monday Night JC. I really wasn't planning on the Bloodline being here. So I'm going to take the Bloodline with one of my picks. Because, you know, I acknowledge them. I'll get Roman when he comes back. And, you know, The Rock will want to hang out on my show when Mr. Free Agent, when he comes back. So there you go. And my other pick, this is where I'm going to get kind of crazy. I'm going to take CM Punk. Because you know what? Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, Roman Reigns. I got the 3 biggest draws in WWE. Thank you.
Okay. I almost typed in CM Pink. There we go. It's hard when you're doing too many things with this podcast. Yeah, exactly. So we're definitely sticking to the not picking injured people, right?
You can do whatever you want. Who cares?
Okay.
There's only 3 NXT each.
3 NXT.
That's the only real rule.
Okay, I'm gonna pick Gunther next.
Well, you get Ludwig.
I'm just stop. You stopped me in the middle of something. Jesus Christ. Imperium, which is really Ludwig. Yeah, it's fine. Gunther and Ludwig. And I'm going to take Tiffy Time next because it's a package deal. Because
your draft strategy is insane. To me.
Well, I don't really care what you think.
Your show's gonna suck. I need to get some females on my roster. So you know what?
Sexist.
I'm gonna fucking load up, baby. And I'm gonna take Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill back to back, baby.
They're not. You could put them together, dickhead.
No, they're not an actual tag team yet.
Yes, they are. But I was trying to be nice to you. But there you are. You're fucking assholes. What you are.
They're not a real. You're so bad at this game.
Oh yeah. Fine. Great. Wonderful. I'm gonna take the megastar LA Knight to be on my brand.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Let's see this right now. Apparently who's watching us? Joe Gilmore. I'm watching the knocker on VR. I hope we're right up in your fucking face. You fucking weirdo. And then let me see. I'll take Becky Lynch as well. There we go. And you're up
you
next,
taking
sir.
Becky Lynch. I did not expect that.
Yeah, well, she's a draw. Plus, I can help her work on her leg drop. Moving on.
Oh man.
Come on, draft strategist. Let's go.
Well, I just take some thought. My first pick is going to be Randy Orton because
that's a
God, I could have him feud with Cody Rhodes or CM Punk, so that's a slam dunk. And man, I mean, this guy has won me over the past 6 months. So give me Drew McIntyre.
Wow, he fell pretty far. I should have probably picked him a lot quicker, but that's my fault.
I was surprised you took LA Knight over some of the people out there, but
well, I think again, it comes to people that get the thing. We'll go next with Sami Zayn.
That's a good pick
because he's the IC champion right now. I'll also go with a Logan Paul, so I'll have both sets of titles.
That was my next pick. Was Logan Paul?
Yeah, because I'm gonna load up on championships, folks.
Oh, that's fine. I can just create my own championships. I don't need to have your little stupid championship.
I can't wait to have your fucking ugly design championships on your show.
Well, mine are going to be fucking great. My next pick is going to be Damage Control because I get 4 stud women at once. That means I get Io, Asuka, Kairi, and Dakota. Boom. Give me those Damage Control ladies. And I'm going to change their name and break them up and use them better. And my next pick is going to be A-Town Down Under because not only are they a tag team right now, but when I split them up, like I could make maybe one of them a babyface star, or they're more heels to feud with Cody Rhodes that I want to see. So boom.
Just feed the machine, baby. Feed the machine.
Yeah, hell yeah, baby.
Where was I? Shit, I was gonna have a whole thing. All right, I'm gonna pick. Let's see where we are here.
Dom, I agree.
What do you say? What do you say? Nestle not upset about leaving Roman on the board, but pissed that he took. You know what it is he's gone in my brain. So like, it just doesn't even matter. Cause like JC will be like, well, the 4th time he appears, it'll give me a bump in ratings the 4 times that he shows up.
Yeah, but I got Heyman, Solo, Tamatonga along with it. So
that's true. I'm going to pick Brock Lesnar because he's still on the website. He's on the website. So I'm going off of the website, folks. Braun Breaker is next.
That's a good pick. Wouldn't have taken him then, but
overvalued by Nestle. I know.
Well, I mean, there's some really good single stars still on the board. There's more tag teams I want to dive into. I'm going to take the rest of the Judgment Day because I need Dom on my roster. And also, again, I can do a lot with Finn.
So Dom, Finn,
and JD.
JD. Yes, that's
and true. Then with my other pick, when do I start reaching JC style? Because we're getting closer to that. I'm going to take Kevin Owens.
There you go. I was going to say eventually he was going to be a pick that I was going to take if you didn't. Mr.
How drafts work.
It's one of those things where it's like
he fell far enough. Yeah, I would have eventually taken him.
He's a good value pick. Fuck you, Nestle. Whatever. It is what it is. And then finally, let's see. We haven't picked. This is
no one's dipped into the NXT pool yet. I was looking at it.
Yeah. I'm gonna pick a tag team that I believe very, very highly in, and I'm kind of called the Brit shamer on here, but I'm gonna pick Pretty Deadly because I love Yes Boy. I know you're gonna think that's an overvalued pick, but I do believe in that.
Probably could have got them later, but they're good.
They're definitely very good. Let's see here. I haven't gone to NXT yet, but you know what? I'm going to pick the Pride and Bobby Lashley, that whole kit and caboodle.
They were next on my list. Very good. So, a good value pick. You get 4 for 1. B-Fab, probably the biggest star, but.
Well, you can always hope that Bobby can keep done all over the place. I don't know.
And you get the Profits,
That's true. I think the Profits are great too. Good tag team.
Yep.
All right, go on. Go ahead.
Was that your 2 there? That was your 2?
I got Pretty Deadly in the Pride, yeah.
I mean, next up, I got to take Ricochet because I just want him on my show. He is such a joy to watch. He's an absolute stud. And I can't let you have her, so give me Liv Morgan.
Okay. And then Liv Morgan. So I have a value pick. I want to ask what is fair here, and you tell me. I want to pick the Wyatt 6. But that's
not even a thing yet.
But it will be in my brain. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
A Strowman. Howdy.
No, I'm taking Strowman.
Strowman's. You said you didn't want to take injured guys, so yeah, sure, you can have him.
All right, then I won't take.
No one hasn't appeared on screen yet.
All right, fine. Then we'll keep Strowman away. It's fine. It is what it is.
Just take Uncle Howdy. And if people return, they'll join him.
All right, fine. Uncle Howdy and Company. Thank you.
Jesus, you're trying to draft things that don't even exist yet. That's
No, in my mind, it's a fantasy draft. It's in your fantasy. It's in the fucking word. You're absurd.
It's not called a fantasy. It's called the Jobber Knocker draft. This isn't fantasy. This is real life. Damn it.
No, it isn't.
Cody
Do you think
Rhodes
we're
is my
ever
number
going to
one
be
star.
GMs?
He works for me. He's always in the shine.
He's always in the shine. Listen, I'll tell you this much. You know what I'm going to take right now?
Yeah.
I'm going to take it right now.
Okay.
You excited for this?
No.
You ready for this?
No.
You're not even fucking care. Chad Gable and all of his minions.
Yeah, it's called the Alpha Academy.
Yeah, I know.
Decent pick. They were coming up because I know there's some work I could do with Chad Gable, but it doesn't hurt us that much. So we're not mad. I'm gonna take my first NXT pick because I want to continue to bolster my absolutely studly women's division. I'm gonna take Roxanne Perez, the prodigy, the future of women's wrestling. You took a lot of the older talent. I'm taking a lot of the younger talent. So we're here to stay here on Monday Night JC. And you know what? This is kind of getting a little disrespectful at this point. There's two guys I'm looking at that probably should have been picked 5 rounds ago. I like one better than the other though. So give me AJ Styles.
Ooh, okay. I like that pick. I'm going to go for my first NXT pick because he's a fucking unit.
You're taking him over Carmelo and Dragunov.
Yes. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I am. You want to know why? Because by the way, did we not pick Awesome Truth, by the way?
Nope, they're still on the board.
I should pick Awesome Truth at that point. That's a value pick.
Yeah, that's not bad because you get a former world champion in there. My next pick, I'm going to take the Creed brothers with Ivy Nile. I have immediate plans to have them feud as baby faces with A-Town Down Under. And I don't want you to pair them with Chad Gable because I think that's going to be fucking money. And my next pick, oh man, there's some good talent here still on the board. I could really get you with something, but I'm not going to do it just yet.
All the current champions are off the board, right? Just to make sure.
I have no idea. Yeah, I think so. I'm going to take El Idolo Andrade.
Nice pick. I do like that
too much. I'm gonna have some really good wrestling on my show.
Yeah, but you're not gonna have a lot of good characters.
Danny Nessel actually did take Braun Breaker.
I did take him.
He took him earlier than I expected. He also took Logan Paul right before I was going to take him. I thought I might have been able to get him later.
Yep, because I like dickheads.
He took Logan Paul very early.
Yes, I did. Very early. Let's see. We're scrolling. And did anybody pick? Nah, I'm not going to pick them. Forget that. For some reason, Cameron Grimes is still on the website. Come on, people.
Well, because it just happened, bro.
Yeah, but usually they take them right off. It's a whole thing. I don't know. It's just despicable they do this stuff. I don't know.
You do realize that those are it's like some fucking 20-year-old that updates that, and he probably hasn't got to that yet.
Okay, don't yell at me. I'm just making.
And don't yell at the 20-year-old who updates the website.
It's their job. It's their job, JC.
Oh my God.
I am going to pick. I guess never mind. He's not necessarily a full-time employee. Never mind. I'm going to pick DIY.
Wow.
I like DIY.
Gargano and Becky Lynch.
Yep.
What a world.
Yep. This is listen. I put my personal feelings aside here to make a decent show. You're going to still say it's Friday Night Loser, but you know what?
Your show is terrible.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
Especially with someone still on the board that if you don't pick them, I'm picking them.
Okay. Great. You can pick them. You're not going to hurt my feelings.
Okay.
Let's see. We got one more here from the old Nestlemania. I am going to pick. I'm scrolling. There's so many people in this fucking roster. It's unreal.
Yeah, I have a list.
Yo, well, good for you. You have a list. I have to look at fucking faces. All right, give me a second here. We can't pick Seth Rollins. I'll pick Sheamus.
You can pick Seth Rollins.
Well, we said no injured people, so I'm
yeah,
not...
but you've been picking. We've both been picking injured people, and you picked Brock Lesnar, who might not even work here anymore.
All right, fine. I'll pick Seth Rollins.
Yeah, that's what I was going to pick next. That's what I was alluding to.
Do I get another pick? I'm concerned now.
You picked someone before that, didn't you?
DIY
and Seth Rollins. So now it's my turn.
All right.
I am going to take. I'm going to take the LWO because I get Ray, Dragon Lee, the future of Lucha Libre, and I get Carlito and Zelina, and I get the other two dudes.
Terrible pick.
No, that's a great value pick because I just got a ton. I mainly want to put Zelina with Andrade and have Carlito and use Rey Mysterio, but you know, I do have Dragon Lee, who's the future of Lucha Libre. Yeah, and my next pick, I am going to take.
This is tough.
Not really. I'm going to take Jey Uso.
Jey Uso. Wow. Fell very far down.
Yeah, I
Very
almost
far
forgot he
down.
was there. I looked right
Yeah,
over
well,
him.
I'm not gonna care about Jimmy. Jimmy might be Mr. Relevant to me. I don't know.
All right, then I'll just take him next round and bring back the Usos.
Well, you could add them all together with your entire bloodline. There you go. You get your whole feud.
They're not. Jimmy got kicked out of the bloodline, bro. Keep up with storylines.
I'm
Just like
saying,
you didn't get Vinci. I can draft Vinci because he's not a part of Imperium anymore.
great. You can have him. You can grab him. It's fine. Let's see. I picked up which NXT was Obafemi was the only one that I picked there. I am going to pick someone that I believe in, and that is, I believe, let me make sure that she's where she's supposed to be. Ariana Grace. I really like what she's doing, and I think she's going to be a real superstar.
I did not think that's where you were going with all the talented women on that roster.
I love her. I think she's fantastic.
I mean, she's great, but does that both your picks or only one?
Seth, nope. I got one more. Hold on. And as I'm scrolling, let's see. We didn't do Carmelo Hayes. I'll pick up my boy Carmelo Hayes.
I was gonna say I was surprised he hadn't been picked yet. I'm gonna take Jimmy Uso so I can bring back the Usos. And then, oh man, I mean, there's a lot of talent there. I'm gonna take I really want Santos. Give me a Legado del Fantasma, and I guess I get the other two idiots in Electra too.
I just love how you're like in the idiots too. Whatever it is, whatever.
Eh.
So we're at 21 right now.
I'm bringing them back as Los Lotharios though, and they're gonna kiss people in the crowd again. That was great.
Christ. Okay, fine. And let's see. I have to stop going to the NXT well. I think I have to stop there.
You've already used two, right? So you only have one left.
Well, so Carmelo Hayes is Purgatory, not NXT.
No, he's NXT. Okay. He hasn't been called up yet.
So then I've used my 3.
Oh, then you're out. So yeah, I have 2 in the chamber still because I've only taken Roxanne.
That's fine. That's absolutely fine. At some point we have to stop.
Yeah, but I still see a lot of talent on the board, so we're not stopping till the talent's gone.
I'm losing faith in myself already. Let's see.
You want me to give you some hints?
I'm trying to look at this. This is not the most.
Have you ever masturbated, Adam?
I'm not taking them. I'm refusing to take them. And
did you know that every day is a new
Nia
day?
Jax? I forgot Nia Jax was on the
go.
board. Sorry. That's definitely a Nestle guy or girl that I can get behind here. Let's see.
Natalia. Shinsuke.
I gotta stick with my Nestle guys and girls.
Did you take Sheamus?
I thought I did. No, I'll take Sheamus.
You took Seth instead, so take Sheamus.
That's what it is. I gotta stick with my Nestle guys and girls. That's what I gotta do. So
Nia Jax and Sheamus?
Yes.
All right. I will go Bronson Reed because, tsunamis are super fun and totally safe. And then I will take Isla Dawn and Alba Fire because I like fire and I like Isla Dawn.
So sorry, you took Bronson Reed?
Bronson Reed and the Fire Bitches.
Okay, Fire Bitches. I'm going to type in Fire Botches. Bitches.
Hopefully you don't look at the chat because I want to take that tag team next.
No, you can have them.
You're not taking... Okay, thank you.
Listen, I'm trying to build an interesting array.
The Viking Raiders, the Final Testament, the rest of the OC.
No.
Shayna and Zoe, Candice and Indy.
No, I wish I could take more NXT people because
Apollo Crews.
No, I'm not doing that. I am gonna take. Let's see. Shane McMahon, get out of here. Sorry, I just saw a stupid face and I was like, get the fuck out of here. You know what? I can't believe I'm reaching at this point, but I'll take Final Testament. There it is.
Oh wow, I was literally gonna save them for last because I did not think you would take them.
No, I'll do it.
You took Final Testament over the Viking Raiders.
Yes.
Wow.
Yep. That's how I feel about this.
Wow.
Oh shit! You know what I should have done? We should have.
I think you have a second pick, don't you?
I do. I was like, I should have picked Metaphor. That's what I should have done. That's what I should have done. Oh, Naomi's still on the board. I'll take Naomi.
There you go. That's a good pick. So I am going to take.
I wish we could have like best available, like right in my face.
I mean, I can literally tell you, I have a list in front of me. That's why I've been listing names off for you. I'm going to take Caden and Katana.
Okay.
And I am going to take
Chance and Carter.
I'm going to go back to NXT next. God, there's so many people I want to take from NXT. I can't waste one on Sean Spears. Maybe I'll hire him as a coach.
Wow.
I'm going to take Baron Corbin because I need him back.
So that's one of your NXT picks, yes?
Yep, that's my second NXT pick.
Okay. We can probably get to 30, but this is going to be bad audio and bad television at this point. But we'll stretch. Charlie Dempsey, get the fuck out of here with that nonsense. Let's see.
I can't believe you're not taking Nakamura and trying to make him cool again.
No, I'm not going to do that. I have no faith in Nakamura.
Shotzi, you like Shotzi?
I do like Shotzi. I will
Sonya
pick
Deville?
Shotzi. No, not going to do Sonya Deville. Shotzi. She's definitely a Nestle person. Nestle boy or girls, we got to stick with them. Let's see. I actually think Indy and Candice are going to be my next pick.
All right, I like it. I will take my last NXT pick just so I don't forget to do it, and I'm going to take Lyra Valkyria because I'm very high on her. There's so much other talent I want on the board, but I just she's too good to let pass up. And with my other pick, I am going to take a tag team that started to have vignettes and never really got the push yet, but I'm going to push them. Cedric Alexander and Ashante the Adonis.
You want to talk about two people who are probably going to unfortunately get canned?
No, they're a brand new tag team, baby. They're going to get pushed. Hopefully they get drafted to Raw so they actually can get on TV.
Here's hoping, man. They need a bottom of the hour good tag team.
They could be a really fun tag team. Both those guys are so athletic.
They are. I don't understand. There's so many people in NXT that I really enjoy, which is really bumming me out.
You like the OC and you like the Viking Raiders.
I'm not taking either of them. I'm just not out of principle, Joshua.
Okay.
I'm just not.
Natalia's available.
I'm not taking a Natalia.
Nikki Cross.
No, I'm not taking Nikki Cross.
Odyssey Jones. Dexter Loomis. Apollo Crews.
No. None of them.
The other people I'm naming, there's not many left besides what I've already named to you.
I don't like
And your refusal to take Masturbator the New Day is hilarious.
No, I'll take New Day. Absolutely take New Day. I just haven't yet. New Day's one. And then the other one will be, who the fuck are some of these people? I have no idea who they are. That's crazy. It must be an NXT thing, but let's see. Omos. Yes, I'll take Omos.
Damn it. That was going to be my next pick.
Yeah.
I think not taking Shinsuke. When did this happen?
Because I fell out of love with Shinsuke Nakamura.
I'll take Chelsea and Piper. Just because Chelsea's awesome.
Okay.
And then I will take. I guess I'll take Masturbate.
Okay. All right. So I'm cutting us off right now. This is our last pick. This is 30. All right. I'm sorry. 29. We'll do two more. Two more and we're done. All right. Because this is getting to be.
I mean, there's not much left on my list. So.
I will take Tegan Knox because I know that
that's what I was going to take.
Yeah, I will take Tegan Knox to upset your boy.
You took Tegan Knox over Raquel Rodriguez, Charlotte Flair, and Natalya.
Well, can we take Charlotte? Because I will.
We won't take Charlotte.
Are you going to take Charlotte? Because that'd be
we'll skip her because we didn't pick her at this point.
All right,
that'd be silly.
All right. It's not a spite to her because she's clearly a number one draft pick.
Yeah, no, but we said no hurt people. We didn't honor it, but we'll honor it for her, Alexa, and Carmella.
Well, we'll do it now.
Yeah.
And then my final pick, I guess. Is this it? This is my final pick?
This is it.
Oh, man. This is a rough one. Tamina. Nothing's happening. I think she's gone anyway. There's so many people in NXT I would want to take. That's the three rules.
That's why I made the rule, because that's what happened last year. None of us picked Drew McIntyre.
It's just there's so many good people in NXT.
I know. I'm just trying to be realistic to what they're going to do.
I know. Hey, kid, give me a fucking break.
He's a tag team champion right now.
Yeah, who gives a shit? Honest to God. Who's left on the best available?
Viking Raiders, OC, Shayna Zoe, Shinsuke, Apollo, Dexter, Odyssey, Natalya, Raquel, Sonya, and Nikki Cross.
I'll take Raquel.
Damn it.
That's
All
my.
right.
That's.
So I have one more pick. I have Mr.
You have two. I'll give you two.
Okay. I guess I will take. I'll take the Viking Raiders.
Oh, brother.
I'm not taking the OC. I'm not taking Odyssey Jones. I don't even know if he still works there. I guess I will take Shayna and Zoe as Miss Irrelevant.
There you go. Just for Guthrie.
Free agent signing, I signed Lola Vice.
We're not counting these because if that was the case, the amount of NXT talent I would have loaded up would have been ridiculous.
I had to throw it in there, but if we didn't limit it to 3, I would have taken it
I would just like to say at this point, people stopped listening to our draft. So there you go. It is what it is.
Hey, I was ready and prepared.
Clearly. Okay, so we get to our comebacks.
The best person probably not drafted was Shinsuke Nakamura. So
that doesn't matter anyway.
And that's your fault because you're a Shinsuke guy and you told me he was going to be like the greatest wrestler ever because he was like Elvis.
Anyway, let's move on because clearly every time, literally, you know what's funny? Joe Stopper texted me the minute he found out about Von Wagner and he just wrote, "The curse is real." And I was just like, shut the fuck up.
Oh, that's, oh my God. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
And I was just like, I hate you. I hate you so much right now. So if my daughter was here, she'd say, we don't say hate in this family. But it's true. All right. Anyway, let's get to your comeback. What's your comeback this week?
I think you should do your comeback first.
My comeback is very specific. It is Dom Mysterio's mustache. When I saw that, I thought, wow, it definitely looks like it just fits him. It's very Eddie Guerrero-ish, and it just makes him even more dirty Domish. I love it. I just
You got Liv's attention.
Yeah, and she's like, I'm your mommy now. And my extra hope was like, imagine if Dom and Liv start hanging out together. When that
She said she wanted to take everything from Rhea.
Oh my God. Like it just the wheels, the hamster wheel just kept fucking going in my head. I'm like, this kid is gonna go off into places that's gonna be fucking wonderful. So even if he's got a bad wing, he's still gonna be on TV. He's doing his job, he's doing a great job. So Dom, you get my comeback, but that mustache specifically, 97 Eddie Guerrero, love it.
Nestlemania, my comeback. What needs to happen for something to become a dynasty? Well, at some point you have to win a title, win the championship. That's how a dynasty starts. And one may have begun on Sunday because we're going to swerve, baby. Swerve Strickland is finally a world champion. He is the first African-American AEW world champion. We expected this. The Samoan snore era is finally over. Look, I love Swerve. I think he's a stud. I've said I wish if they would have done this, he would have just beaten MJF because I think everything since then has kind of cooled him off. But Swerve's the man. He's a stud. He's definitely worked his ass off and deserves this. And I felt like it was appropriate to give my comeback. The Dynasty as a whole was the first half of that pay-per-view was pretty rough, but the final 3 matches were super hot fire, including this one. So yeah, he's getting my comeback, and we can roll this right into the big finish Nestlemania because I know you didn't watch it. I kind of caught the end live. The rest I kind of had in the background. I wasn't paying attention on my illegal stream because I wasn't going to pay for that shit, Tony. But I'm with the people. Will Ospreay versus Bryan Danielson was fucking awesome. Probably the match of the year, I would say. Quite potentially the match of the year. Yeah, it was really good.
I mean, it's too early to tell in my case. I think like I watched it. I thought it was really fucking good. I love the little, nuances and things that they were pulling off, especially the end with like, oh, I'm not going to use that move anymore. I didn't see him call it off with the referee. I thought that was a nice little thing at the presser. There's a lot of good storytelling elements there that are necessarily storytelling elements that are in WWE, which I enjoyed. It's one of those things for me where I don't like to say, is this the match of the year? Because it's always like it's subjective to me. And I don't necessarily agree with what everybody's saying in terms of like, is it the greatest match you'll ever see in the United States? I don't know about that. It just depends. If you like athleticism, I think this is the match for you. I think it's probably the best match you'll see if you enjoy athleticism. I'll say that much. The one thing I realized when I was watching this matchup, I will say, is when you put someone like Will Ospreay in the ring with Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson, it was very apparent to me that Ospreay is just so magical, so fluid. And Danielson, when he's up against somebody like that, I went, man, he is more unathletic than I've ever remembered in my life.
He always looked like that.
He's kind of
Randy Orton even. It was like, oh my God.
He's kind of oafy in terms of like,
that's part of the charm.
No, it is part of the charm, but it was just like, it's like watching an elegant swan and then some fucking lumberjack. Like it made it, but it was perfect. It made for a great wrestling match, but it was just like brutality versus elegance. And it was just like, I mean, they were both vicious, but man, that was the biggest takeaway for me was just like, it's weird. It's definitely weird, but is it the best match of the year? We'll see. But right now it's probably the front runner.
So yeah, it's the best match of the year. That's what, because we can only judge up to this point in WrestleMania. We can't predict the future. So it was better than his match with Takeshita, which was one of the other ones. And I mean, the only other one I'd maybe put on that list is Cody and Roman just because of the spectacle. But that's why we have the Knock Awards at the end of the year. But in terms of in-ring, this was by far the fucking match of the year. And it's a damn shame because it was like afterwards, it's like, damn, Bucks and FTR got to follow this. That match was fucking awesome too. Any other pay-per-view that would have been the match of the night, we would have been having a great discussion about it. But man, unfortunately for this card, it was number 2. But these guys just have chemistry. It had ladders. It was a lot of fun. And that fucking dipshit returned. So there you go.
You're right. Dingle Boy showed up. I mean, Jack Jungle, whatever his fucking name is, Jingle Jungle, whatever the fuck he is. I don't even know. The
Jingle
scapegoat,
Junk Jack Junk.
Dingleberry
Anna
Jack
Jay's
Perry.
boyfriend.
That just rolls off the tongue to me. Dingleberry Jack Perry. That's what it is to me. It's just like, and people are like, "Oh my god," the crowd erupted for him, and I'm like, I mean,
You
they
could have
got
had me pull my mask off. People are gonna go.
People love a surprise, folks.
Yeah,
They love a
it's
fucking
like-
surprise.
No, I mean, if you're gonna bring him back, you stick him with the elite. I think it makes sense, but I don't know. A lot of the storytelling AEW doing is kind of mid lately. So
somebody made an interesting stat. I don't know if it's true. This is the first pay-per-view for AEW where none of the 4 pillars were involved at all. But Jack Perry came back, so I mean that maybe they meant wrestling. But if it is,
Darby's hurt, MJF's hurt. Sammy's just had a baby, I think, and then Jackass showed up. So yeah, but yeah, to guess wrestling, that would make sense, I think.
But it's fascinating to me because even before that, I'm like, I don't know. Darby was the only linchpin, it seemed like, forever. It seemed like Darby was on every pay-per-view. So he was really the only one holding up those 4.
Well, don't worry. Nestlemania. This one had Jericho, and it had Jericho beating the young talent for a fake championship.
Jesus Christ.
That honestly, like I didn't want to watch this match, so I had a long day at work, came home, I threw it on the computers. I was watching NBA and NHL on the TVs and stuff. And I was not paying attention. But then all of a sudden I looked down, and I just happened to look down right as the match was ending. And I was like, no fucking way. Like, I was just like, what are they doing? And like, obviously we saw all the chants that they were chanting, like the retire and all this. And it's just like, dude, like, it's one of those things. Like, I usually disagree with like the go away heat thing, because if you're getting heat, you're getting heat. But with Jericho, legitimately, it's just like, it's bad, and it's bad for a lot of the wrong reasons too. So I immediately said, I'm like, I hope this means Hook's going to NXT, because good fucking Lord. Oh my God. That was just, oh.
So I'm always interested because Chris Jericho is in my top 5 all time. I love Chris Jericho. But the longer he's in AEW, the harder it is for me to cheer or enjoy his work, at least in ring work anyway. And
he's been terrible.
And so for me, I look at it like when the crowd, who is rabid, right? Like they are just relentless, and they are IWC, like hardcore, that those people are chanting those things at Chris Jericho. And Chris Jericho always, he says he's always reinventing himself, and he's always listening to the crowd, and the crowd's telling you to go home and never come back. And then he tweets out something like, "Thanks for everybody for having my back," and blah, blah, blah. Unless his next gimmick is tone death Chris Jericho, I don't know what they're going to do with this, because the crowd's telling you, please don't come back, and you're not going anywhere because you like a fat paycheck, you know? And it's just, it's really bizarre to me. I'll be curious to see what happens, because they clearly stopped, you know, it was the whole thing, whether you believe it or not. We're not going to get into the dirt sheets of what he might have done and transpired, you know, behind the scenes. That was the whole thing.
We know this. It's always been like that, but it's one of those things. Like, now it's like, it's just, he's not even a good performer really anymore. Like, what is he adding? And you just look at it, and they boast about how they have such a good deep roster. It's like, okay, well then why do you still need this fucking hunk of flab out there? Fucking just, not only that, but like, it just, I was just shocked by this. And that's why for me, I was like, I can't think of any reason to do this besides that Hook is leaving. And I hope for Hook's sake he is, because we've talked about it here. They presented him really well at the get-go, but since then they've done nothing with him. They tried to do the little Samoa Joe thing, but it got Jinder more over. So, you know, it is what it is. So
overall, there were, like you said, 8 matches, and the end were great.
Everything before those 3 matches I could have done without. The first match was very underwhelming with Okada and Pac. I don't even remember the 6-man tag was. I mean, you would have loved it because you love 6-man tags, but it had the coke dope and all that fun shit in it. And by fun shit, I mean not fun. The Julia Willow match was very quick. They didn't do much there. Tony and Thunder had some good moments. Kind of reminded me how good Thunder can be. I don't know. I don't remember the other matches, but
it's not important.
But yeah, it's just one of those things. It's like, again, at AEW, Tony Storm in the presser, like alluding to Cody and stuff. It's like, AEW continues to just like, by making comments like that, you make that the story instead of what you just did. Like what that Will Ospreay Bryan Danielson match should be like the headline. Swerve and tells me the headline, but instead you go on Twitter or X or wherever, and all you see is like, oh, AEW taking pot shots at WWE. Oh, Ospreay said he's above Triple H. Just like, it's like, what are we doing with this shit, man? They continue to just fuck up that shit.
It's bizarre to me when someone, I don't know who said it, maybe Eric Bischoff or somebody else, probably Eric Bischoff, because I love Eric Bischoff, but I think he said, like, sometimes when you're punching so far up out of your weight class, it shows how immature you are. I don't know. It's
that definitely was Eric Bischoff.
But like, he basically, like, the fact that you acknowledge somebody else, like that, the difference is like when you acknowledge somebody else, it seems petty, right? Like it just does. And I think they're all smart enough people. Like I'll give Ospreay credit when he was like, yeah, I hated that I said it. Like,
yeah, no, and I believed him, but then it was just like I don't think he meant it.
He's
like
a nutbag though. He's crazy.
But when he said, he's like, I don't pay attention to things below me, and it's like, I know he's trying to say the situation, but instantly that's going to be taken out of context. It's like, that's why you probably should have just said, like, you know what, I didn't like it, I wish I didn't say it, and just move on. And like, that's, to me, the Toni Storm one was even more egregious because like she's been so good. It's like, you don't need this to get yourself over. Like, you, by being your gimmick that you've been being for like the past year that people love, works. When you do this, it's just like you turn off some of your own fans too. And it's like, what are we doing here?
I agree. Anything else you want to talk about?
Yeah, Moxley's defending his IWGP World Title against Powerhouse Hobbs. Powerhouse. Now, here's the thing. I was excited for this match, but then they put this fucking title from another promotion line. I'm like, well, Moxley's not losing, so where's the intrigue?
That's true. And a ball.
I mean, I do want to see him make Moxley bleed because these two. I don't know if you remember when Hobbs first got signed. I believe he was like involved with Moxley, and he's a much different specimen now. So I'm ready to see that meat make that Mox bleed, baby. I want to watch you bleed.
So look, there's nothing on AEW for me that I'm not going to be excited about. The other thing too that I thought was odd was the fucking. So are they really going to have poor Willow be a transitional champion to Mercedes? We'll find out. I don't know.
I would assume so. But it was cool that Willow got her moment because I feel like she's someone in AEW that like you can't say she's underutilized because she's literally on every week. But and even underappreciated, I think they do appreciate her because she's a woman in a mid card that gets a lot of TV time. But it was just someone who really hadn't had that AEW moment yet, and I felt like this was like her cool moment. So that was cool for her. I wish the match was given more time though, because you should be highlighting your young talent more. Give them a chance to shine. This is how they get better too. But it is what it is.
It's so far beyond me that it's so weird to me that they had Mercedes show up. Like, you know, the big thing in Boston, I get it. But like,
she's done nothing with her. Nothing. She's literally done nothing.
She
comes out every week and goes.
She does the fucking CEO thing, which is fine. She's moaning on the ground last week, and Bursky had a fucking tent in his pants or whatever you want to talk about, and that's a whole fucking awful thing. And then she comes out and does the fucking thing at Dynasty, and all I kept thinking about was like, you didn't build any anticipation for this woman. Any anticipation to see her wrestle is out the fucking window now.
I mean, once she gets in the ring, it'll be fine. But like, no, I agree. Like they fumbled this. It's one of those things. Like it just doesn't. I don't know. It's like how they handle it is like the worst possible way to handle it. Like when you sign a big star like that, it should be easy. But they found a way to just make it kind of like, what are we doing here? It's almost because Double or Nothing's the end of next month. So it's like, that's probably going to be her fucking debut. It's like, what are we doing?
It's weird. It's very similar to the CM Punk thing, but I guess, you know, it is what it is. I mean, I don't understand this whole like dragging everything out thing, but it's I don't know. I didn't love the CM Punk thing either because, of course, like in my opinion, if he didn't get the reps, something was going to happen. And
which one, the AEW or the WWE? Which one are you referencing?
I mean, I'm referencing CM Punk. I mean,
but when he first signed with AEW or when he signed with WWE?
When he signed with WWE, they didn't really do anything with him, and then it's very similar.
Well, like I mean, he got the reps on the house shows, like you know what I mean, with like Dom and stuff. But yeah, no, I mean I don't know. It's someone with Mercedes. It's like you sign her because she's literally going to elevate your women's division in the ring. Because look, she's not the best promo. Like we all see that she's not. But in the ring, there ain't too many better on that level. So you'd think right after your debut, you'd want to get her in the ring, especially on a like right away. And they drag it out, and instead they're relying on like her promo ability, which isn't her strength. So it's just made it very, very sour, which sucks because I don't know, they've been so bad lately with everyone except for Ospreay, because it's just, you can't fuck up because he's just so fucking good, bruv. But even like Adam Copeland, like the debut was cool, but since then it's been like a slow downhill to now I'm calling him the Cope Dope.
Can I say this much very quickly?
Yes.
I couldn't give less of a shit that fucking Adam Colbebe rose from the fucking chair and stood up and then fucking googly-eyed fucking
We didn't
Wardlow.
even mention that.
It's just like, who cares? It does.
Yeah.
It's irrelevant. It is Adam Cole should have just stuck it out and been Keith Lee's manager, and then realized when somebody that we can't talk about anymore got canned and left, they would have just pumped back in the fucking tires, and then fucking this would have fucking been a big deal in WWE. And it's just,
I will say though, honestly,
he fucked himself over.
He'd probably be the world champion right now in AEW if he didn't get hurt, but he got hurt twice in a row. So it's just like it's been it's like unfortunate turn of events, but like it just, I don't know. He
would be a world champion in WWE right now if Triple H had his way. Absolutely.
I mean, quite possibly, but he'd also
Keith
be he'd be the world champion in AEW right now if he didn't get hurt. So I would have just kept him off TV, but bring him in as fucking Roddy. Like it's everything Roddy fucking touches is just
poop.
Yeah. Drizzling poop.
Anything else you want to do size up for next week, or we're good to go?
I don't know. We have the draft. I think Cody and AJ have a contract signing. There's some matches on Raw, but you know, it's mainly the draft, man. And Monday Night JC kicked the shit out of Friday Night Boredom. So,
well, most people don't watch things on Friday night, so I think I'm okay.
You should move it to Saturday. I haven't watched Collision in like 3 weeks. Or Rampage. You proud of me? I've just deleted them off my DVR.
I'm so proud of you.
I don't have time for this shit. By the way, NBA, NHL playoffs. I got fucking so much other good shit.
You're also a betting fiend. You're just probably letting them.
I'm also very busy with work, but yeah, no. I mean, now at night it's like when I get off this. I mean, you're gonna tired as shit.
Bet the ponies. I know.
I'm gonna watch the NBA and the NHL.
That's what I mean. You're gonna bet the ponies. By the way, the Kentucky Derby's coming up. You should probably bet on that too.
I will. I'll throw something in the day of.
Might I suggest?
I'll make a box.
Might I suggest? I was told some insider information. Always pick the gray horse. I don't know why people said that, but it's interesting. Anyway, on that note, I think that's probably a good way to end the show. What do you think?
Yeah.
Okay. On that note, thank you for listening, participating, and watching the Jobber Knocker podcast. We'll be back next week with some more Jobber Knockery.
Yeah, we will.